All right. Hi. This is my first attempt at going live on YouTube, so I'm kind of seeing how it works. Oh, as you can see, we're struggling. So I was kind of hoping that I could have the video in one spot recording and pull it up on another camera, my iPad, and see comments and things, which this is my first time, so I don't actually expect that there will be, but I wanted to see if it would work. And I don't know if I can go look at my live on a different device. That's what I'm figuring out. Here's my channel. I guess it's not gonna work. Oh, wait, maybe that. Nope. I'm just gonna have to keep an eye on the phone the best I can. So that's a really boring beginning to a video, but that's kind of how lives are, I guess. I actually kind of think that lives are a little boring, but I thought if we talked about something kind of fun, it would maybe give the video a little focus. So, sorry there's a lot of like shadows. I'm by the window. I don't know. Anyway, I thought it would be fun to talk about Howl's Moving Castle, the book versus the movie. And I think I'm just going to draw from my head some of the characters in the book or the movie. I mean, the movie has sort of a specific look, and I'm not going to be using any reference to do that. I'm just going to be drawing from my head. So anyway, so let's talk about it. Let's talk about Howl's Moving Castle. I think people have strong opinions sometimes, and it's an interesting one, Howl's Moving Castle, because it's one that I watch, and then if I watch the movie, it makes me want to read the book, and if I read the book, it makes me want to watch the movie. I really like both a lot. And oh, there's 4 people here. That's amazing. Hi, people. Welcome. We're talking about Howl's Moving Castle. I really didn't think anyone would come to this, but and I'm going to draw a picture of some of the characters. So I'm starting with old Sophie, and seeing what happened. This is just from my head, so no reference. Oh, hi, Nikki. Nice to see you. So my opinion about Howl's Moving Castle is I really love the book because I read it before the movie ever even came out. I really like a lot of Diana Wynne Jones's books. And Howl's Moving Castle is such a fun one. I can see why they made it into a movie. But I still also love the movie. I think the movie does some amazing, brilliant things that the book doesn't do, but also vice versa. I saw a comment online once where somebody was like, I just hated the book. It was a mess. And I was like, oh, sad. I really like the book. It hurt my feelings. Not really. He can have whatever opinion he wants. But I like both. And yeah. So anyway, This is my first attempt at a Sophie, old Sophie. She obviously does change age. And one of the things I like about Sophie, especially it's more emphasized in the book. It's in the movie, but in the book, it talks about how Sophie's the oldest, and so she's destined to fail because in all the fairy tale stories, the oldest child always goes out into the world first to try to solve the problem, and then gets it wrong, and then it's always the youngest that ends up usually winning the day. And so Sophie just kind of has this idea that like her lot in life is to not have any really good adventures, that she's just going to fail. And then, of course, she does have a fun adventure. She gets to tell her own story. And since I am the oldest child, also, I always like that because I definitely did read fairy tales and was like, what the heck? Why are all these oldest children always just like messing everything up? And really, like, from a storytelling perspective, it totally makes sense that you have things in threes. The first ones would like not be good, like, just because that's how stories are. The first two fail and then the third one succeeds. So if you have three kids, it makes sense that the oldest and the middle child will fail. But anyway, so I enjoy that, and it's kind of like the first line in the book, if I remember right, that like oldest children fail. Anyway, and yeah, so yeah, I like that. But it's still in the movie. Anyway, so here's a Sophie. I kind of think I made her short. I think I'm gonna make her a little taller. I think it's fun. I don't know. You think of like little old ladies because it's like a thing that we say, little old ladies. But I don't know. Sophie is kind of a practical personality, despite like her odd belief. She's organized, and I think that maybe her personality should have a little stature to it, just because, I don't know, it feels like that would come out in her personality to do that. Okay, what should she do with her other arm? I guess she could be holding a broom. The book, she's always sweeping. Actually, in the movie, she's always sweeping too. So one thing that I love about the movie, that I think the movie did better than the book, is the castle. The book, the castle is just described as like a big black thing, and it kind of like floats around on the plains, and doesn't, I don't know. That's like all I remember from the book, is that it's black and big and like boxy from in my imagination. But the movie castle is so interesting and creative, and it's cool how they gave it legs to walk around on, and how it's in all the little pieces. I think that was a really great interpretation of like a change that, I don't know, added to the story and made it more interesting and fun. And yeah. So if you guys are still here, do you like the book better, or the movie better? Or have you read the book? Have you seen the movie? What are your thoughts on that? I think she's a really boring dress. Maybe you can give her a little bit more interesting dress. Let's do some puffed sleeves. Up here, sort of Anne of Green Gables style. And maybe a little apron. Comes down right here. The apron can go. Around her waist and tie. It has a bow. Back there. There, now she's ready for cleaning and organizing. I think I also like that about Sophie. I like cleaning and organizing. So, okay. I think this is a fun version of Sophie. I don't know if I was like illustrating the book, if it would be the one I would go with, but you could try another character. So let's do Calcifer, because I think that one will be easy. Oh, fun. So Nikki says she's never heard of the book or the movie, but she just put the book on hold. It's a fun, cute book, like kind of a cozy fantasy, which I feel like a lot of people are talking about these days. Yeah, and very fairy tale oriented, so I think you'll probably like it. Okay, so Calcifer, he's basically a fire. I don't know. Fire can have any shape. Let's see what we come up with. And he has a little heart nugget thingy. It's like a lump of coal. That's how they depict it in the movie. I can't remember how it's described in the book. I guess here's his little lump of coal, and he has a face. I like how they did the face in the movie. But I'm not looking at any reference, so I'm thinking of it in my head. Eyes. And mouth. Sort of eats wood, I guess. Looks a little ghosty. His teeth kind of look like flames, maybe? That would be good. Do that. Make sure they're different sizes. So I guess other things about the movie and the book that are interesting. I love, well, the books have this definite like British feel to them. You can sort of picture a small British town or towns and cities. Even though it sort of takes place in this alternate universe. And I really love how the movie has that, but then it also has that sort of like Japanese feel to it too. Like adds this layer of interest that I don't know, just makes the world interesting. Okay, this is Calcifer. Okay, so Sophie, Calcifer. Can't remember if that's how you spell it. Okay. Let's see what we can do with Howl. I'm not sure about him. I need to think for a second. Okay. Howl. What's he doing? I'm not sure. What? I know he's kind of tall and slim. So let's start out with see that on the thing. Tall, slim silhouette. And he's got his best shoes on that have points. It feels like his shoes would have points. Broad shoulders, and he has to be pretty good looking. Kind of a dandy. What does that make his face shape look like? I do like how they depicted Howl in the movie. Yeah, he's got that floppy hair. I don't know, and he has a really thin kind of face. So I don't know about this. I'm not sure. Let's give him some kind of cool hairdo. Maybe a little bit on the Gilderoy Lockhart side. And then when it's not meticulous, can flop around. I do like the earrings he has in the movie, so we'll give him an earring. Size of eyes, I don't know. think he probably has a thin nose and well-coiffed eyebrows. Okay, let's figure out what his body's doing. He needs to have a little bit of a face that looks like it could eat hearts, because that's what everyone in the village thinks. A heart-eating face. That's a weird way to put it. It's a little bit adorable, but you can go with it. Not too bad for a first try. Okay. His eyes are looking a little... There we go. Okay, and in the book, there's a big emphasis on his suits. He has a black suit and a blue suit. I sort of picture it as like the movie, he has kind of like a cape thing, but I picture the suits in the book as being kind of a Edwardian. This is looking a little 220s. Let's see. I don't know. I guess this is where a reference would come in handy. We'll go with it. I'll just, whatever a suit looks like in my head. His other arm could be down there. Give him skinny legs. And his pointy shoes that I always picture being kind of shiny. Make it shorter. I don't know. I don't know if this is saying Howl to me. His face is just so nice looking. I feel like it needs to have a little bit of a, I don't know, sinister. Anyway. Their hand, it's a little too long. Oh, thanks, Nikki. Says it's fun to watch your process. I feel like it's harder to do it with people watching because obviously. And I think normally I spend a lot more time kind of looking at reference, like this hand that's not coming out perfectly right. I'd probably find an image. Okay, that suit. A little longer buttons. I think I'd find more suit reference too. I think Howl cares a lot about his clothes. He wouldn't be too happy with this suit. Not too bad, not too bad. Darken his hair up a bit. Fix the buttons. Pockets. Now that feels very modern. I think if I was gonna retry this, I'd probably look at more costume reference and pick a suit that feels a little more old-fashioned. But there's Howl. I think that's probably it. A good effort for my first live. I'm drawing characters from my head. So anyway, thanks for coming, everyone that came, and hope you had fun. And I think that's it. I think I'll call it there. And of course, if you're watching later, you can let me know which you like better in the comments, the book or the movie, and why. Okay. Bye.